Hello and welcome to Bleeding Tree Gaming. My name's Amy, aka Warpfiend, and today I am joined by...
Hello, this is Tammy, aka the Autumn Witch.
And today we're taking a little look at 40k for a while. I've been doing a lot of videos about Age of Sigmar with Samime, of course. But we thought we'd have a look at some of these combat patrol boxes in 40k. Now, I haven't actually been playing 40k, so I think we're going to be focusing here more on the value for money, how good the kits are, and whether it's a good start to an army, rather than how they're doing in the meta right now, because, yeah, I really don't know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, the models spend 99% of their existence on a shelf. So, and that's if you get round to painting them. So, you know, most of it is if it looks good on your shelf, you're going to be happy 99% of the time. But
yeah, that's fair.
We have reached the point where we're just over a year out from the launch of 10th edition, especially when you had like Leviathan dropped, and then we started getting the codexes and the new releases a few weeks after. So we've had about a year of new codexes, and with each new codex in 10th edition, we've ended up with a new combat patrol for that faction. And well, Games Workshop dropped the bombshell last month that with Codex Blood Angels, there were no new releases for 40k until next year.
This
has become very much a natural point where you stop, take stock, have a look at what has come out, what's still available. I mean, I know for a fact there's going to be a lot of opinions on a lot of this. So yeah, I mean, I think as we go through, we should probably, just mention whether it's a new combat patrol or it's the old one. It hasn't been replaced yet, because we did our series. Was it earlier this year or late last year?
I think last year we talked about all the whatever they were before they were combat patrols.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's start by looking at this new Blood Angels one then, because this, first of all, you have the disappointing Sanguinary Guard that don't have proper wings.
No, but I've got a 3D printer. I could 3D print some if I wanted.
They're also in squads of 3, so you get 2 squads of 3.
Well, or you can run it as a squad of 6.
Yeah, when there used to be squads of 5, so you can see like that's fitting in a squad of your 10 assault marines and 2 of those, and the new captain. So you can see they've tried to justify it being £100. I don't think this is worth £100.
I mean, I know it's going to come with an upgrade kit. I'm not sure if it's going to be the new upgrade kit or the standard Primaris one.
I assume so. I bet they're probably going to charge like £40 easily for 3 of the Sanguinary Guards.
I was going to say each of those infantry units, the captain will be about £25 recommended retail price. The 10 assault intercessors, I think they're like 35 to 40, and I wouldn't be surprised if 3 Sanguinary Guard was 35 to 40. So it is a reasonable saving. What I like about this is that it's actually a Blood Angels combat patrol.
It is, for the first time. It's not a generic Primaris.
Yeah, it's not generic with generic Space Marines flavor red. It's not like, I mean, we're gonna come up on the Dark Angels one, which is very much in that ilk.
Okay, then. So where are we placing it?
Now, I think I've got a little bit of the hype that wants me to put it really, really high. But I'm going to say top end of B tier. Trying to be...
I think so. And it's just as a Blood Angel, like a former Blood Angels player who has been a bit let down by some of the models in this release, I would have put it to the bottom end of B. So I think a B is a good place to start off. Right then, we've got a lot of these to get through then, so let's move straight on. Chaos Space Marines is next up here.
Now, when we did the previous review, we thought quite highly of the Chaos Space Marines one that was out at the time.
Yeah, and that was the classic one that was I can't remember the box, Shadow Spear, something like that.
Yeah,
where you first got the Phobos Marines in, I believe. So yeah, in this one you've got a full squad of 10 Chaos Space Marines. I believe that's the standard multi-part kit. It certainly looks like it. You get the 5 new Chosen, and that's a beautiful kit that I'd love to paint at some point. The Master of Possession, good character, and then 10 Cultists.
I mean, that is solid. One. It's a solid box. I mean, I say it every time we look at, starter boxes and stuff. I do like a big centerpiece model, but this isn't. It's not just saving money. I mean, there's the whole false economy thing of, well, if I was collecting this army, would I be buying those miniatures in order for it to be like a proper discount? But this is pretty much. These are pretty much the units that you're going to want in a Chaos Space Marine army.
Yeah. Now, I don't know the current prices exactly. I'd imagine the Chaos Space Marine's about 35 for the Chosen, and probably like 25, 30 for the Cultists.
I think the Cultists are a bit more. It seems to be now that pretty much every full unit that you can get is about 35 to 40 quid.
Yeah, true. So it's good value. I really like all the sculpts in here. Being a Chaos player, I'd definitely rate this one highly.
I mean, I think it's a solid A.
Yeah, let's put it in A, and we'll see, because I imagine this it's not the best that we're going to be seeing today.
No.
Right then, so who's next on here? Imperial Agents. This is another new one.
Now, I think this is great. I really do. I mean, not only have you got like 2 of the models there, the Emissary Assassin is £25, and the Empire Spawn, or whatever she's called now, with the Vindictor Flamer, she's also about £25. So that's 50 quid at retail price, just in those 2. And then the rest is made up of 3 Kill Team box sets, 2 sets of Arbites or RBTs, and the Imperial Henchmen, and they are 40 quid each. So
that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. That's
I like it. It's very different to any kind of army we've seen before in a box. And we spoke about the Imperial Agents and how they reuse this one kill team in quite a lot of them. But as itself, this is a really unique box, and the first time there's been something of this kind of ground level Imperium stuff joined together, and I think it is a really cool one.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I can't pick any fault with it, except for, I like my big...
Yes, there is no big centerpiece. So I think we're looking at, again, another A.
Definitely, but depending on how we feel when we review it later, I might have to argue for S for that.
Okay, that could be interesting.
Because you're looking at £120 for like the troops, and then 50 for the 2 characters.
That's
£170 worth of that's brilliant. And it's also where I would start as well. But yes, okay. Now, Astra Militarum, I'm also a Militarum player.
Again, I think this is a solid one. You get the command squad, 2 regular squads of Cadians, the Sentinel, and then 2 weapon squads.
Yep, it's great. It's not the 10th edition combat patrol. Astra Militarum or Imperial Guard haven't had their codex yet, so this combat patrol won't be the combat patrol forever. So
Right.
if you want it, grab it now.
I definitely think that's a really solid foundation for an Astra Militarum force, and
It
you want to
is.
expand that with some tanks and
Yeah.
like increase your heavy infantry,
Yeah.
your heavy support. You've got a good solid infantry base to be going from there.
Yep. Now, it's like I said with the Chaos Space Marines one. If you're getting a Militarum army, you're gonna want everything that's in this box. You've got your infantry, you've got your command squad for shenanigans.
Yeah.
You got some artillery in the backfield and a sentinel to soak up some Daka and dish some out. Yeah. Oh, it's a.
I want to put this as the first S, but it's a borderline one.
Yeah,
It's very good.
I'm going with S.
Yes, let's put it in S, and we can always move it down if other things knock it down.
Yeah.
That is a really solid start for an army.
Yep.
Now, World Eaters then.
World Eaters. Now, as the resident Chaos nerd, this is actually, it's the, they haven't had their codex yet, so this is the old Combat Patrol still. But when we reviewed it, it looked quite, we were quite favourable looking at it.
I mean, yes, but looking back on it, I will say this kind of sums up a lot of my disappointments with the World Eaters release, in that there's a lot of berserkers, there's some cultists, and there's one guy on the Juggernaut. Like, out of all the kind of variation, the cool things like a basic squad on Juggernauts, like kind of like even the possessed in this, I find, which you don't get in here, the possessed in the World Eaters I don't find particularly imaginative or anything. It's just like there's a lot. There's a lot of choppy boys.
20 berserkers.
20 berserkers, yeah.
Right, so that's 2 boxes of 10. I think it would be better with 1 box of berserkers and then another cool unit.
Yep. Like I say, I mean, obviously they've got access to all the vehicles that Chaos Space Marines have, but there's no, other than the Juggernaut and Angron, there's no big centerpiece models or like specific tanks. Lord of Skulls would be good, but obviously you can use those in regular Chaos Space Marines anyway.
Yeah.
In terms of this box, it's a fair bit. I'd say you're probably getting your money's worth, but it's just not very inspiring to me.
They are the units that you would build a World Eaters army around, aren't they?
Yes.
I mean, I would go with B just for that, because those are the units that you're going to buy if you want to do a World Eaters army, and it's just,
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can get save 50 quid and buy the box. I think
that's fair.
It's solid. It's good value for money. It's just not a very inspiring set of content.
Yeah. And next up is Votan.
Yeah.
Now, I've been considering starting, like, one of the many armies I've considered starting, but have been holding off until the rules for 40k get a bit better and it's a bit more playable. But yeah, I really like the models. You get the 1 squad of the basic ones. You get the one of the Volkite Berserkers, I believe they're called. Or am I thinking of Sigmar? The Chthonian Berserks in this, yeah. You saw the Destined. I guess that's that guy. I didn't know that was a named character, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And what's that one at the back? That's the I don't know. Is that the No, the Pioneers are the bikers. I guess that just comes with one of the units.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Eldar Guardians come with a heavy weapon.
Oh, right. Okay, I wasn't actually aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a solid enough start.
I mean, yeah, and I mean, this is still like the previous one as well. So we looked at this before.
Mm,
Now there is something about looking at this at a cost. I think it was £95, and then
yeah.
there's a psychological leap, a massive leap of looking at it for £100.
Yeah, I can see that. Even though it's only a little bit more, I do feel it is, I don't know, feels a little limited compared to some of the others, but
Yeah,
there is basically the same number of units. So,
yeah.
solid, but
I
I,
think that's another B.
let's put it in B for now
Yeah.
and look at these again later. All right then. So, next up is Chaos Demons, and Chaos Demons is now just Khorne.
Yeah.
So I hope you like Khorne, Chaos Demons players.
I mean, if you were starting a Demons of Khorne army, I think this could possibly be S tier. But
Absolutely.
very few people are out there going, I think I'll get a Demons of Khorne army as opposed to you've seen all this wonderful new stuff like over over in Age of Sigmar
Yeah.
with all like the Nurgle stuff that's come out and all the
Mhm.
Slanesh and it's just a little bit bland on the demon front.
Yeah,
I
I just wish 40k had managed to integrate demons a bit better, like
yeah
Sigmar's managed to. Just
yeah
the fact of not having you can use them in the Chaos Space Marine armies, but you don't have the right keywords, so you're not
yeah
kind of like battle forged and stuff like that.
yeah
Yeah, but compared to the previous, like the original Start Collecting, that was probably about 60 quid back in the day, that was
yeah
one squad of these, the one squad of the Skull Crushers or Blood Crushers, and then the Chariot,
yeah.
Throne of
It was.
Skulls, Skull Cannon
I
thing.
mean, the format then was pretty much you get a character, a unit of battle line troops, and then like a big hitty thing. Now,
Hmm.
again, I think because it is demons, I think this
Yeah.
this one really misses having a large centerpiece model.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
the trouble is, like, all the greater demons are a bit out of the price range
yeah,
of stuff they
but
usually put in these, but
but
yeah.
replacing I mean, they were once called the Herald of, but whatever
Mm.
it's referred to now, replacing that with the new Demon Prince kit,
Yeah, that would have been
that
good.
that would knock this right up.
So I'd say you're getting a lot of good stuff that you probably will want if you're building like a sizable Corn Demons force. But
Yeah,
it's, yeah, there's
but it's
not.
only really like 1/4 of the people who want to do a Chaos Demons army want to do Khorne.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah,
I think in all fairness, basically these are models that have already that are already in existence. I mean, how hard would it be for them to do a box for each of the Chaos Gods? It
well,
would just
yeah.
be
I
a
mean, they
case of
have done.
repackaging.
They have done in previous editions. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. I feel like we go middle of the pack for a lot of these, but
I think that is very, very niche, and in general, I would go C.
let's go see here with this
Yeah.
one. Yep. Okay. Next up, then, Eldari, and
Oh, this is a great one. I mean,
I love this.
this is also an old one, which means it's going to get replaced when the
Yeah,
Eldari get
yeah.
their new codex. But you get like you get a Farseer, a squad of 10 Guardians with a heavy weapon platform,
Mm.
Race Lord, and 6
Yeah, two lots of jet bikes. Yeah,
jet
two
bikes.
lots of three
Yeah.
jet bikes.
I
And
mean, those jet bikes really sell it. I mean,
yeah, that is just the classic Eldari force, really.
yeah,
It's, the model count may not be as big as some of the others, but you've got like a lot. Those jet bikes are big. You got the whole Wraith Lord there.
yeah,
That's a good box. That's a damn good box.
yeah. Oh, I'm not sure if this is A or S.
I'm putting this in S just
Yeah,
because I
okay.
really like this one.
Yeah.
And like I say,
I'm
I have no idea what the rules are like, whether that's what you want to take. But if you want to build
well
like a thematic
the
Eldar
thing
army,
is with Eldar, I mean, I don't really like pay much attention to tournaments, but Eldar have been consistently excellent in tournaments.
Yeah, they tend to be quite a lot.
Constantly over, the whole time that I've been in the hobby, Eldar seem to have been very good in tournaments.
Yep.
Which
and we've
is
been
weird.
told there's new Aspect Warriors coming next year, so they're definitely getting an expansion soon.
Yeah. I just hope that the new Combat Patrol is as good as that one, because as we will come to, there are certain replacement Combat Patrols that really don't live up to the previous ones.
So right then, this is a disappointment.
Yeah, I mean, if you want the discontinued Terminator Librarian model for Space Marines, there's one in the Combat Patrol, but they're looking their age.
They do. I seem to remember these ones came out like a few years before I got back into the hobby, maybe around the 2010 mark or so.
Yeah.
And they're great, solid sculpts, but they just look. Since everything's been rescaled, the Terminators are really tiny compared to Primaris ones.
Yeah.
They've got that weird kind of bandy-legged look about them that a lot of old like pre-Primaris stuff suffered from.
Yeah.
And then the Nemesis Dreadnought obviously got a lot of reputation as it's the baby walker thing.
Oh, it's atrociously bad.
I'm not a huge fan.
And not in a kitsch way. Not in a, oh my god, it's terrible, I must have it. It's oh.
So yeah, you don't really get a lot of models. What's
No.
that? 10 Marines, a captain, and
it's I believe that's 5 Terminators and 5 non-Terminator ones. I mean, it's probably also I'm not really into Grey Knights. That it's bad.
I'm putting that as our first D. Yes. Yeah. Okay then. So moving swiftly on from that one, then what do we have? Oh, Thousand Suns. Now I think this we talked about this one about around the time it came out.
Yeah.
And we discussed a different one, and I think they changed it a bit. I think the last one had the Zangors on discs, if I remember rightly.
That might have been the Start Collecting box, because this is the same one that we looked at, and it's they haven't had their codex yet, so it's the same Combat Patrol. But
okay, it isn't quite as good as I initially thought when I was looking at it. You get 20 Zangors, which are great, and you get the Scarab Cult Terminators and the it's what's his name, the thingy mabob. Infernal Master, that's the name. Yeah. So
I would prefer this if there were Rubric Marines in there, because they are basically a Space Marine.
Yes, yeah. There's nothing really kind of stunning about this. You've got the kind of basic like meat fodder troop, meat shield troops. That's what I'm talking about. Cannon fodder, meat shield. I'm combining the two words there. Yeah, you've got plenty of those, and you've got the Scarab Cults, which obviously have a little bit of firepower to them. Infernal Masters has kind of like summoning tricks, I believe, but there's no summon demons with it, so I don't know how that would quite work out for you.
Yeah, because in 10th edition, being able to attach a character to a unit is like a big part of the whole gaming system, whereas before it was all aura effects. You've got normally, if you've got a different type of army, you can't lead that unit. There's a few exceptions, but and I'm just wondering, because I don't play Thousand Suns. I'm just wondering what level of synergy there is in that set When's
I
that?
don't know. I have not got an Infernal Master except in Tacticus, in which he's one of my best characters in Tacticus, the Infernal Master. I haven't got one in my Thousand Suns army, and I haven't actually read the rules in this edition to see exactly how they function. So, not sure on that. But
we're judging this on is it good value?
Yeah,
and
they're all great models. I'll say that.
Yeah,
They're all great models. They're all relatively new models. Obviously, the first wave of Thousand Suns was 2017, I believe. So
it was end of seventh edge.
Yes, yeah. I don't know.
I think that if it was 10 Zangors and a Rhino,
yeah,
it would be a more interesting box.
Or even a Mutalis Vortex Beast if they gave that decent rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say B, middle of the pack. Yeah. Right then, what is after that? Black Templars.
S tier.
This is an S tier for you then. Yeah, the stunning Helbrecht model.
Well, it's not Helbrecht. That's just the usual, regular.
Oh, is that? Oh yeah, of course. Sorry, yeah, I see any of them with a crown thing on. I'm like, oh, it's Helbrecht.
Yeah.
The Primaris Marshal, right?
Yeah.
You get the Crusader Squad, the Intercessors, and the Impulsor and the Upgrades frame, which is a pretty nice Upgrades frame.
Yeah. And it's it's a. I mean, you're gonna need, if you want Black Templars, you're gonna need Intercessors. You're gonna need a character. You're gonna need some Black Templar flavor, which you've got with the Sword Brethren and the Neophytes, or the Crusader Squad rather. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think the leaders are Sword Brethren, something like that. And then you've got a big tank, which
it's a solid box. Yeah.
It's absolutely solid. It is. If I were to say, right, I'm getting Black Templars, the first place I would go is this box. I wouldn't look at characters or individual squads. I would, if I wanted a Black Templars army, I would buy that box and build everything around it. That to me is an S tier.
Okay, I'll trust your instincts on this one. Be more of a loyalist player than I am, and we'll put it in S because that's a good box. I can't argue with that. Drakari next, and I mean, now did the Incubi kit get updated when they brought out that new Incubi character recently, a few years back, or is this the same one that was done in the 2010s? It looks kind of there's some slightly goofy poses here, so I've got to imagine that's not a brand new one.
Yeah, I think they've had a new character here and there, but not
really had much of an upgrade other than the Mandrakes in Kill Team and a couple of... So it's the Archon, the Cabalite Warriors, the Incubi, the Ravager and the Raider.
Well, okay. I mean, a Ravager can be built as a Raider, and a Raider can be built as a Ravager. So you've got build options there.
Yeah, I've mixed these up because the Incubi are just these 5 at the front. Those are the Cabalite Warriors. The Cabalite Warriors are older ones. The Incubi, yes, they did get a resculpt. Yes.
Yeah.
I knew there was something there I was forgetting. But yeah, you get the 2 ships as well, which are damn good models, even if they are a little bit older.
Yeah, and I mean, the way that you can build them, your entire force can be embarked on them. And I think they have the firing deck.
Let's have a look at this Archon. Now, is that... It must be a plastic model, right? I just don't recognise it at all, but I don't know much about Drakari, so... it's okay.
I mean, they haven't... I don't think they've ever put any fine cast or metal or resin stuff in Combat Patrol, so it's going to be a plastic
certainly
model.
Not for a while. I'm sure that there might have been a couple, but I can't think of any now you mention it. Right, so I don't know.
I think B. It's B? Good value compared to the price of the kits. You get some good flavour to it. You know, like the fast attack options with the raiders.
I just think this army needs a bit of love in general.
Yeah.
That is obviously reflected in the combat patrol.
I think it's a good box for a mediocre model line.
Yes. Now, Death Guard.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one. You've got a lot of Poxwalkers there. I imagine it's 40. I'm not going to count them all, but 30.
30 Poxwalkers.
So you get those. You get the multi-part Plague Marines, which is a really nice kit. You get the Putrefier.
Yeah, and you get Typhus himself.
So there's no big centerpiece, which is your usual one.
Yeah. However, I think that the Poxwalkers themselves, because Typhus can be attached to Poxwalkers. I think that
always could classically, yeah.
Yeah. I think that is that's the big centerpiece. You've got Typhus and a big squad of Poxwalkers. And then you've got the other character which can attach to the Plague Marines.
True.
I mean, I can't remember. I think this is the same one because Death Guard haven't had their codex.
As a Death Guard player, having painted so many of those Poxwalkers, I am kind of like a little. Oh God, not more Poxwalkers. Notice that these are the ones that came on the sprues in in
Dark Imperium
8th edition.
Yeah,
I'm losing track. 8th edition. Yeah. So every sprue of these that you get will have half of a Plague Marine on it because they never bothered to separate that stuff out and just like, okay, we'll have to sell it with this little bit you can't use.
It's well, you can use it for base decoration.
Yeah, the Poxwalker, like if you don't have Poxwalkers and you're starting a Death Guard army, you will want them, and 30 is a good number to start with. So it's a good place to start an army, but I don't know. For someone who already has one, I'm not too inspired.
I also think that having a named character can be a bit off-putting.
Yeah, that's always a thing.
Because if you want to grab this to expand your army, and you've already got Typhus, who is essentially like a must-have, really, for a decent Death Guard army. Yeah,
it's a good.
It's a good place
to start.
It's a good place to start. It's not great if you want to be adding to something.
Go in the middle of the pack for now, I think.
I was going to say,
and then we might have to thin those out at the end and see which ones need moving up and down.
Yeah. Right. Let's crack on. What's the next one?
Next up, we have Space Wolves. It's just.
Yeah.
We're still waiting on the round of upgrades to hit Space Wolves. Just hit, obviously, Dark Angels and Blood Angels.
I mean, the good thing is that this won't be the Space Wolves Combat Patrol for too long.
Yes. Now.
I mean, it has an actual Space Wolf specific character.
Yeah, there is this Primaris Lieutenant that's Space Wolf.
Yeah.
I don't remember when that came out, but at least they've got a Space Wolf specific model in it now.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was there when it was a start collecting set. He's been around for a while, but the rest of it is essentially a couple of Space Wolves upgrade sprues and just 10 generic intercessors, 5 generic reavers, and the
if you wanted to do generic Space Marine box, I'd say this is probably actually better than the one that we're going to look at soon.
Definitely, yeah.
If you just sell the Space Wolf specific guys, then this is a good foundation for like Ultramarines, Salamanders. I can see going well with this. Yeah. As for Space Wolves, they just need to get around to refreshing them. And please make the refresh a bit more refreshing than the Blood Angels and Dark Angels ones have been.
Yeah, I think upgrade sprues are going to be the way to go with Games Workshop because they're overall cheaper. Yeah, I'd say it's a C.
It's a C. It's a good generic box, but not very good Space Wolves box, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right, next up then, Gene Stealer Cults. And we talked about this as it changed because it looked like there was so much more value in the old Start Collecting.
There was.
But
in the old Combat Patrol, the previous one before they got the
was
Codex,
a Combat Patrol.
It was the full Combat Patrol. So that Combat Patrol that we really loved and can both agree needs to be S tier got replaced with this
one, which I remember I said at the time, I much prefer this, even though the older one had more stuff in it.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that I want to start a Gene Stealer Cults army because I want the bikers, I want the little buggies and the quads and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, is this a coherent force? I don't know that it is, but it's all the cool stuff. And I love the cool stuff because it's so cool. Like, these bikers are awesome. Yeah, this is like the kind of fast mobile force that I want to be fielding. Yeah. Although I believe, are they Abhorrents? Abhorrents, is that the name of the foot guys? Oh, the hybrid metamorphs, these, or that can be the Acolyte hybrids. But yeah, they're fine. They're fine. I would just take an extra unit of bikers in there, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of feels flavor-wise that they've gone for the two extremes of the force, because this is a more elite force, whereas the previous Combat Patrol was more of your swarmy, ambushy.
Now that had the bigger vehicle, the Goliath Rock Grinder, and then a lot of you just basic infantry stuff, and I believe that one must have had the Abhorrents. I think the Abhorrents are ones with like the street signs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I really like this, but I couldn't in good faith like say this is an S tier for everyone because it depends what you want to build the army around.
Yeah.
I think
A is solid. Yeah.
A is solid, yeah. And obviously they're all great models, all of them. So
now it's
Sisters.
Now this is also replacing a Combat Patrol that I think we would have decided was S tier.
Yes, yeah. So the starter box hung around for a while, and there was quite a lot of stuff. Now I believe the old one was the starter box plus a tank, right?
Yeah, it came with a Sororitas Rhino.
So that was amazing. And this, you get the multi-part Arco-Flagellants, which is cool.
Yeah, but you got a Canoness, 10 Battle Sisters and 10 Arco-Flagellants. Whereas the previous one, you got a Canoness, a unique to the set Canoness, unique to the set squad of, well, pretty much all the models there were unique to that set. They weren't the multi-part ones. But then if you're going to expand on that set, I mean, I started my Sisters Army proper by buying that set and then getting some, building on it.
It's a great set. I ended up picking up most of it through Conquest or Imperium magazine or one of those part work ones.
Yeah, but you get like jump troops and
I just don't like the idea. You've got standard infantry, you've got standard infantry with shields, you've got light infantry with those,
and a Canoness.
I mean, I love the Arco-Flagellants.
Yeah.
And like solidly, although they're all solid kits, but there's no variation really. There's no
there's no big tank or penitent engine or
or flying
Seraphim.
Things.
Flying nuns with guns is awesome. I mean, it's a C. It's a C.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Sisters have fallen from S to a C.
It is a shame. It is a shame. Now, after Sisters, it's Tau, and this is a hard one because, yeah, I don't play Tau, don't know much about Tau, but
yeah, you've got so that's 2 units of what do you call them? Breachers slash fire warriors slash breachers. So you've got like you can have 2 units there, and
so
those
apparently those are 2 different types of units that I've never been able to tell without reading there. Breachers and fire warriors, yep. And then there's the devilfish, yeah, that's the big thing there.
Yeah,
and the commander in the battle suit.
Yeah.
And what battle suit is that? The enforcer one.
Yeah.
That's drones.
7 drone models for use of tokens. So yeah, they say in the description that it's got you got this unit, you got this unit, and one of the units they're talking about are drones. Like
just the extras on a sprue, basically.
Yeah, they are the drones that go with those kits, and they're making out that they are additional content as well as the other kits, which is really, really quite dishonest.
So, as you can tell from my not knowing that there was 2 different units there, I really don't know a lot about
They
Tau.
are 2 different build options for the same kit.
Well, if I was building Tau, I'd want more than 1 mech suit.
Yeah.
Most people buy Tau because they want Gundam.
Yeah. I mean, Breachers have the shotguns, and the fire team have the long rifles.
Yeah. So I'm not too impressed. I'd say like a C.
C, yeah.
C, yep. Right then, moving on. Custodes now.
Oh, yes.
Now these have obviously been in the news lately. If you're looking for and
those are a bunch of very attractive ladies.
Yes. Some head swaps with Stormcaster turtles would suit them really well. But yeah, I think this is solid. There's none of the jet bikes, but then
I mean, the previous one had jet bikes, and I'm quite saddened by the not having jet bikes.
Yeah.
And it also had like 10 Sisters of Silence, and you got the different build options for them. I mean, you got different build options for all the Custodes kits. I mean, they are a very low kit army because each kit you can like build it like 3 different ways. But
so you get the 3 Alaris Terminators, the 5 standard Custodes. Is that 5 with the shields? I'm not sure what they're called.
Let's have a look at the content. One
so
blade
Alaris
champion.
Terminators, the Custodian Guard and the Wardens.
Yeah. I mean,
considering there's not a lot in the actual Custodes range, that is a pretty solid start to an army, and you're probably going to want all of those things.
Yeah, I mean, thing is, I'm going to want jet bikes and probably Sisters of Silence more.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as good as the previous one.
Okay, that's fair.
It's almost like Games Workshop are trying to make everything as middle of the road as possible. But so I'd say B, because they are a bunch of very good-looking ladies, and ladies are very much underrepresented in most armies of Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine armor people.
And a very, very cool character in the recent Tithe series. Look forward to seeing more of that. Yeah, next up then we have Orcs, and there's a bit of hiss and miss going on here because I know a lot of people don't like the kind of Beast Snagger Boys aesthetic.
Yeah, this isn't an Orcs combat patrol. This is a Beast Snagger Boys combat patrol.
Yeah, I can see people saying that. Now wait, is that a separate captain or is it 4 of the Squid Hogs you get? 4 Squig Hog Boys and the Bomb Squig. Okay, I thought it was in like 3s for that, but I guess not. So 20 boys, 4 of those, and then the Beast Box. Now, I think these are all great models, but they're not
They are.
classic Orc models, so I can see
Yeah.
a lot of people who do want that might be
This
annoyed.
is a Cruel Boys, not Cruel, yeah, Cruel, Beast Snagger, that's
Beast
it.
Snagger, yeah.
Cruel Boys are a different thing. Yeah, Beast Snaggers. If you want a Beast Snagger army, then this is great. If you don't have if you want to do like a more traditional Orc army, or at least any Orc army that isn't Beast Snaggers, it's kind of limited in its appeal. They want to push the Beast Snaggers because they're the newer ones, but
I like it, but I want to say it's only a C for in terms of general Orc players, and also like it is a bit kind of limited in what you've got. Lots of boys, guys on squigs, and 1 leader. So it's a C, but I like it. But
I would have gone with 10 boys and a Death Dread.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I mean, the previous one, it was 20 Orc boys, a Death Dread, and a Mega Boss or something. There was a big dude, but with a grot on his shoulder with a heavy stubber.
Yeah. I like it. A lot of great models, but probably not what you want to get into Orcs.
Yeah, it's a bit narrow in its appeal.
Dark Angels.
What a load of crap.
Yeah.
This is a generic Space Marine force with some Dark Angel upgrade sprues.
Yeah.
Not even the new Dark Angel upgrade sprue. It's the old Dark Angel upgrade sprue, which is just
Now these are the Blade Guard veterans, like the standard kit. They're not even like the new Deathwatch Knights or anything. 2 of the most basic intercessors that are available. Oh no, sorry, there is the intercessors and the Hellblasters there.
Yeah, 5 Hellblasters, 10 intercessors. Yeah. And then you've got a Gravis Captain, which cannot attach to any of those units in the game, which is ridiculous because he's got a bodyguard unit right there. I mean, why they couldn't have just put in a regular Primaris Captain as opposed to the Gravis Captain, I don't know. But there's nothing about this that really synergizes with the rules intent. And there's nothing in this that really screams Dark Angel, except
I wouldn't even recommend this one for a generic Space Marine ones, just because there's not really much kind of going on. I guess you get your veterans and you get your Hellblasters and intercessors, but it's not really a great collection to start with.
Yeah, I mean, it would have probably been more Dark Angel-y if they'd been assault intercessors.
I reckon D for this one.
D, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so not too great, really.
I mean, it's faring better than what's coming up.
Yes. So the AdMech one, and I really like this new AdMech one. It's cool.
Yeah.
You get a good selection of stuff. You get your Skitari, you get the flying Skitari, whatever they are called. They are the Taraxi sterilizers. Of course, why didn't I get that? Of course.
And you got their tech horses.
Yep, tech horses or hounds. You get the chubby guy picking his nose, the Biologus. Manipulus, sorry, yes. Manipulus.
Yeah. It's a good.
Is that a difference?
What's that?
No, sorry, I thought that was a different Skitari character. It looked different from the rest of them there. But no, yeah, that's a good starter pack. I really like that. You're going to be wanting to get some vehicles.
Is it worth 100 quid? Is it worth 100 quid, do you reckon?
I mean, just in terms of model counts, you got 3 actual units that would probably easily make 100 quid.
Yeah.
And then the Manipulus on top of that. So
yeah, I think it's a safe A.
Yeah, it's just really nice models. Could be more value for money, but yeah. Solid.
Mm-hmm.
After
now...
that, it is Necrons. And this is obviously based off the starter set from last edition, but vastly cut down.
Yeah, but it's also got a big model.
It does now.
Which it gives it some clout with me.
We discussed this last time. I remember now because it comes with this Canoptic Doomstalker, which is not the one that came with the starter box. That was the Canoptic Resurrection thingy. And this is actually the better of the two, or it was in last edition's rules anyway, and was quite expensive to buy separately. So I do like that this is there rather than the one that, you know, came with the original box.
Yeah.
On the other hand, like, you can probably still get a lot of these stuff really cheap.
Yeah.
Lying around.
I mean, if you just scroll down and look at the contents, does it actually list the 3 Canoptic Scarab Swarms? Those are part of the... those are part of the Necron Warrior kit.
Yeah.
See, I like the Necron Warrior kit. I like the kits that come with another unit. I think that's cool, but don't try to make out that you're getting more kits in the box than you actually are.
Yeah. Now that is actually a different one that didn't come with the last set. I didn't realise that. I thought it was the one that came with it, which is interesting. Yeah. Tachyon Arrow one. I don't know. I can't put this too high, but on the other hand, there is a couple of nice touches in there.
Yeah.
Maybe a C.
Yeah.
2 more to go then, and
yeah, I think we know where these are going.
These are not going to be doing well. Let's just discuss them both at once, shall we? Because these are the 2 halves of the Leviathan box, to a degree.
Well, but they're not even. They're both halves of the big starter box.
Yeah, the big starter box had these and some additional stuff in.
Yeah.
Now, the current tiered ones that you can still get have all this stuff in.
Yeah, and the price is, what, 120 for the box, so you get 2 of these and about 50 quid's worth of terrain. So
yeah, these are basically price gouging. Like, if you want the combat patrol, if you want to play combat patrol mode, buy the starter boxes.
Yeah.
Buy the starter boxes. Do not ever buy these under any circumstances.
Do not. No. I mean, look at £100. What you get for the Tyranids. You know, for 100 models, you should get more Nids for 100 quid.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, there should be like a. I mean, I know it was a case of, you know, what was on the sprue or what you could fit on the sprue, but I think that the Screamer Killer would have been a much better, big bug than the Psychophage. And 100 quid for 5. Yeah.
Both of those 2 are indeed.
100 quid for 5 Infernus Marines, 5 Terminators.
Yes. Both indeed for do not under any circumstances buy.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, it's 40 quid for the multi-part Terminator. Then, I mean, I think it's about the same for the 10 Infernus Marines, but you only get 5. So that's 60. And then the Librarian and the Captain, they're about like 25 quid each. So yeah, it's about 110 quid in retail value, but you can get both of those for like 20 quid more than one of the actual sets. And you'll have all the stuff you need to play. You have terrain and you have gaming mat and stuff.
Cool. So let's have a look overall then. Are we happy with everything here? I still think God, Eldar and Black Templars are the top out of those, the current crop of combat patrols.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Now,
I mean, I think B being like the biggest one, B is like solid middle of the road, so
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I kind of want to move Blood Angels down because I really don't like that box, but
I mean, it depends on what. For me, it would depend on what upgrade sprue was with it. If it's the old Blood Angels one, then it definitely goes down to C.
yeah, yeah. I think on the whole, though, I'm quite happy with the list. Like,
Yeah,
there's less than I thought there would be to switch around.
yeah. I mean, I think we've both been in the hobby long enough to be able to just weigh up a
Yeah.
Games Workshop box.
Mhm.
Knowing what Games Workshop are like for good or ill.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, this is not based on current rules or anything like this. If you think we've got this way out, we'd love to hear why. Please let us know.
Yes, engage. It helps the channel. We don't really care what you think. We just need you to engage.
If you are looking at getting into 40k soon, yeah, obviously, like, this is the order of boxes that we'd recommend them in. So we hope we're not doing you a disservice by recommending these.
Yeah. Now, I just think it also needs to be said that the ones we have in S tier are from armies that don't have their 10th edition codex yet, which means that those combat patrols will be superseded by new combat patrols.
By now. To
Yes.
avoid disappointment.
Yes.
Yep. So anyway, we've been Bleeding Through Gaming. Don't forget to check out in the description. We've got links to all the stuff. We've got Discord, we've got Facebook, we've got Coffee link, we've got Element Games affiliate link, all that stuff.
Yep. And also, we put out a short every day, just showcasing a model we have that we think is cool. So make sure to subscribe for that.
Yep. Thanks very much for listening. We'll be back soon, hopefully with some more tier lists and some other more painting content coming up.
Yes, I'm currently kit bashing a Terminator Ancient because Games Workshop won't release a Terminator Ancient model, even though the rules are very much ensconced in the current codex.
Yeah. Right then, we've been Bleeding Through Gaming. We will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.